Hi guys, just another quick update on the Mini-Pinball here and where I'm going with this. You'll notice there that a couple of the guys, H. Lee in America, said that he also liked the no joystick, so I'll leave it like that for now. Now he also mentioned about the box that I said that I would be toying with making. So you can see what I've done here is I've got it split down at the moment. That's as you can see. Move it back a bit. I've taken the monitor off there. I've taken the cables, just got them all out of the road. And I've been making just a quick watch. I've run this off very quickly, just to give you an idea of where I'm going to go with that. That will be something like that. Now, in keeping with the design, I've made it as tight as possible. I've got a very small amount of play around there, of like a few millimeters. The bevel I've made just again from the same spec plywood. What I'd point out just very briefly is I didn't flatten that out. So because I didn't intend, or it wasn't at the forefront of my mind to make a box, so I've had to, as you can see here, put that at an angle to make that sit properly vertical, perpendicular to the bottom, and not to the slope of this. So you can't tell once it's on there, but there might be something to bear in mind if that's what you're going to do. You're going to make a box. Make sure you flatten this piece out. Just makes it easy to put it together. Not that this is a big deal. But anyway, I'm still making this. I've made it slightly so that it's slightly wider at the top. You can see there. It's slightly wider. So this is vertical. This is slightly wider. This is 10mm, and this is 8mm, which is the size of the cross piece that I'd made. So now I've just made the bevel against which the monitor will rest. I've got the monitor taken apart here. I've taken the rest of the stand off, so that will sit behind that box. And again, I'll mount these speakers. I'll mount the speakers behind that. I'll use a hole saw of some description. I don't think it's necessary to make them square, but I'll have to see how I feel. And those will mount nicely, and the monitor will be behind there. And the cables that currently are coming out of the hole at the back, as we said there, got cables that come out of the hole to go up. So what I'll do is I'll make another hole here, and a hole in the cross piece, so that those cables can come up. And you won't see those cables. And then if I feel the need, then what I'll do is I'll probably just use a small piece of board just to blank the back off. But in the meantime, I'll just paint this up. I'll just fill in the hole, sand it down a little bit. I'll paint it up with some black matte acrylic, because I've not got any of the. I used a couple of small pieces of vinyl, sticky black vinyl, that were only just a couple of dollars, but I've not got any left. So for the meantime, I'll just paint that with some matte black acrylic I've got. Okay, so I'll just go through the back box construction very briefly. Again, it's just 15mm plywood. I've measured the bottom of the box here, 8mm, which is the same size as the cross piece at the top of the pinball cabinet. But I've gone a bit wider at the top, 10 centimeters, just because they tend to do that. I don't know why that is. It looks a bit nicer. It puts a little bit of a lip over the top of the monitor there. And what I've done is I've created a bezel with plywood just in there, against which you can mount the the monitor. Obviously the monitor needs to be supported, and the way that I'm going to support the monitor, I'll show you inside when I get that done. But as you can see, it's just a very simple box affair. I drill 2 holes here for the using a hole saw for the speakers. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a very rough sand. So I'm going to just fill in using some wood filler, just to fill in the little imperfections again, and then give it another sand. Give it a sand over, and then I'll give it a coat of acrylic, to give it one thin coat to highlight all the bad imperfections. But I'm not going for perfect, obviously. This hole here will be for the cables. I've drilled a hole through this and through the cross piece so that the cables can come through here. Because the monitor will generate heat, I've drilled a couple of holes up at the top here. I can just put something over those, but because the monitor will be hot, we'll need somewhere for the heat to escape if we're going to close the back off. But anyway, that's the construction of that. Okay, take a look at what we've got. This is a couple of coats of like acrylic paint. I'll probably leave it like that. I don't have another sheet of the vinyl, carbon fibre vinyl that I wrapped the box in, which is like a couple of dollars off the internet. I don't have another one, so I might order another one and do this so it matches. But I'll see what it looks like. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. So I'll take it in and we'll get putting it together.
Basically, we've got some big screws here, 3 big screws that support the weight of the monitor. I could put a piece of wood over there, but I don't think that's necessary. The monitor isn't actually that heavy. And then at the top, just to lock it in, I've just put 2 inch screws, the heads of which just fit nicely into the grooves there along the top, and lock it in. It's very, very tight. It won't move. But the advantage is, if I do need to take that out, pop those 2 screws off, and it just falls straight back out. I will put a piece across the back. It doesn't need to be heavy. It doesn't need to be plywood like that. A piece of hardboard, even a piece of plastic across the back would just close that off. I put 2 small speakers in there. I actually made oval holes, but unfortunately only have round speakers. So a little bit of a miscalculation, but not that it matters. I've just got some black mesh across the front, just to close that off, but just so you don't see the speakers that clearly. But some black foam across there would do the job just as well, and you wouldn't see the speakers at all. That's the remote control. I don't know what I'm going to do with that now. It's not really necessary. Probably just take that out. I've removed 1 or 2 of the crappy stickers. But that's probably all for the back. I put a couple of holes in the top there because obviously this is electronic and it generates heat. You can feel that's warm. If I close the back off here, then the heat needs to dissipate. It needs to be able to escape. So there's a couple of little holes in the top to enable that. The next thing really, I've just painted it over. You can see that the cabinet itself was coated. I just got a bit of vinyl, carbon-looking vinyl, just because my painting skills are about as shitty as my woodworking skills. So that was just an easy option. But they're only about a couple of dollars per sheet, and I haven't got a sheet to put around that. So I've just painted the box for now with black acrylic. I might order another sheet of this off the internet, or I could paint that in gloss or satin or something. I'll leave it. But if I do it, I'll probably just order another sheet of that vinyl wrap to keep it all in the same style. Sticker gun from the front, obviously. Kept the stickers on the side because the colour they actually just give it a little bit of software. You can see there. I've been doing the media. Not all tables have got media. That one doesn't have media. This one, you can see that there's media there. Pinball X puts something on the Backglass on all games if there's media there. If you've got, I think, Pinball Arcade, the version that I have will not show a Backglass. FX2 will show a Backglass. So, but basically, I've been loading the media, which you can find if you look around on the internet. You can find the media, the pictures, and what have you, the sounds, and the video, the full screen video showing gameplay. A couple of things I'll probably mention is that this has got a GT440 with 1 mega RAM. That's pretty much about as low as you really want to go. If you've got something not quite as powerful, you may well be able to run some of the games. But what I've found is that some of the games, particularly the pinball arcade games, not the FX2, strangely enough, can get a bit choppy. I've got 4 gig of RAM on here. Like I say, it's a mid-range dual core. It's a 63 or 6400 processor, which does fine. There's no problem at all with FX2 games. Like I say, some pinball arcade games get a bit choppy. Not all of them. Some of them play great. Adam's Family and some of those, I don't know why that is, but I think basically we're pretty much at the limit of what you can do with this hardware setup. A couple of things we could do just to make it smoother is a slightly faster graphics card, obviously. Something like perhaps a 640 or a 650 or something like that. Even a 540 or 560, something like that, TI would be perfectly adequate, I believe. And a slightly faster processor. I've got a few processors sitting around. I'll just show you where I do my computer stuff. There is I do have quite a few computers kicking about. That's my current project. Is a server. That's another games machine. I've got my main rig over there, so I could very easily swap out the CPU. I've got an 8400 CPU. What I might do first is just possibly just look at a slightly faster graphics card, but as it is, I can just show you this. I can just start one of these. The setting up of all the games, the setting up of the software, Pinball X, is not especially difficult, but it is a bit time consuming, loading the media and what have you. But if you've got any questions about the media, if you look around, even on YouTube, do some Googling of media for these things, and you'll find some people that have actually already done this, and you'll be able to access their media. Pinball FX game. Okay.
Suit up. We have work to do. We can't be everywhere at once. With this technology, we can get
playing 100. But you can see FX games, no issue whatsoever.
Get out. I don't need you left.
It's the pinball arcade games, and just a few of the tables there that seem to lag on this spec. Okay, so that's just the latest update. I hope it helps. If you've got any more questions as to how I've done anything, or let me know what you think. And if I do any more to this, I might just do one final update. Okay. Catch you next time. Cheers, guys.